Hey everyone, thank you for tuning in. In this video, I want to talk about something important here because 432 Hz music, if you've been following, it's being shadow censored. It's being shadow censored, meaning that it's gonna be a little bit harder to find 432 Hz music now than before. And let me tell you exactly what I'm talking about here. This is one of my previous releases here. By the way, this is Pasha 808 here. So before they would allow things like 432 Hertz in the title of the songs or in the title of albums. But when I tried to release one of the albums, there was a little problem. So when I was trying to distribute it, there was a little problem, and they said they wouldn't release it on major distributors such as Apple Music, Spotify, etc. So these are the major distributors from CD Baby, and this is what they said. They said, please note, for the album name and track names, our partners no longer allow things like 432 Hertz as part of the titles. So these are the partners that apparently don't allow it. I know YouTube, if you're self-releasing it, YouTube is cool with it and stuff like that. But if you're doing it through a distributor like CD Baby and releasing it on Apple Music, Amazon, etc., I think that's the kind of partners they're talking about. So they basically asked me to change and remove 432 Hertz from the titles of the songs. For example, like this song that's playing right now is called Smooth Remedy. I have a standard 440 Hertz tuned track, and I also have a 432 Hertz tuned track, which is what you're hearing. And in order for the listener to know what they're listening to know the difference, I include 432 Hertz mix in the titles of any song that is a mix and 432 Hertz tuning. Otherwise, how would the listener know the difference between standard tuning song and 432 Hertz song, right? It's basically like, you know, when it comes to food, how would you know if you're eating like organic or natural food if it's not being labeled? And that's why I'm saying it's being shadow censored. 432 Hertz music is being shadow censored because now they're not allowing you to put 432 Hertz in the titles or in the titles of the albums or the titles of the songs. So it's basically what that means. It's gonna be harder to find 432 Hertz music on in places like Apple Music, Amazon, etc. Whoever made this new rule and doesn't allow 432 Hertz to be added to make that distinction, which sucks, I think, because I want to listen to 432 Hertz music from other artists, not just myself. So how am I gonna find it if it's not in the title? You know, it's gonna be a lot harder to find. And so when I got this email from CD Baby, I told them I feel like this is a violation of my freedom of speech, my right to freedom of speech, because I feel like as an artist I should be able to title my songs any way I'd like, as long as it's not, you know, offensive. And it's 432 Hertz is not offensive, obviously. And to that, this is what they replied to me. They're like, thanks for getting in touch with us and using a term like instrumental is fine within a track name. You are, however, not allowed to use terms like 432 Hertz. Also, this is not a violation of human rights, as these rules are set by the sites you're asking to place your music on. So again, the sites that are in question are these, and I mean the list goes on. It's a larger list, and not necessarily all of them block 432 hertz from the titles, but I know some of the big players probably don't want to see that because 432 hertz music is gaining a lot of traction, and it might be exploding, but they're trying to tame it down. In any case, so these rules are set by the sites you're asking to place your music on. They're not required to accept your music, and so you're free to use any language you'd like, if only selling on your own, or even through just our site, which is CD Baby. So it's not CD Baby that's making the rule, they're just enforcing the rule made by those big guys, the really big guys like Apple Music, Amazon, etc. So they're saying they're not that picky. The CD Baby is not picky. They don't care if you put 432 hertz music in your titles, but their partners don't want to see that. And so they go, but when requesting your music to be added to another site, their partner, that site determines what they will and will not accept. So you're not required to distribute this to other sites. And if you choose not to distribute, then you're not required to follow those guidelines. So basically they're saying, their way or the highway, they're saying you don't have to distribute through them, but if you want to distribute through them, you have to follow their rules, and you cannot use terms like 432 hertz anymore. You're welcome to include defining information like instrumental or remix, but the terms used are required to be accurate, cannot include unnecessary info or format information like 432 hertz. I don't think that's unnecessary. I think that's very necessary to know the distinction between standard tuning songs and 432 hertz tuned songs. So anyway, so that's what they say. Basically, you have to follow their rules, otherwise they will not accept your songs. So let me know what you think. Leave it in the comments if you had similar experiences, or if you have been successful in releasing music with 432 hertz added to the titles. Wishing you all the best. Signing out, Pasha 808. Until next time, cheers.